53 years old this year, and full transparency, like no retirement. Like I've done a terrible job
It's
with that.
unfortunate, but there's a 74-year-old man driving Uber at night right now.
That we have no plan for him to stop working and retire.
Even though I work full time, I've worked my whole life.
Then I have 2 more years before I can collect Social Security, and I'll probably end up working those extra 2 years to 62.
Hello family, welcome to BabsWTV, where we talk about real life, real struggle, and what's happening around the world. Many Americans will not be able to retire ever, which is very sad. Many Americans, again, will never be able to retire because life been getting very hard. Cost of price keep rising, everything. And many people been working so many years, they never have nothing saved to the side. And they're entering the age where they're gonna have to eventually keep on working forever. And that's the time we're living now. That's why for so many young people out there, in your 20s, is the best time to escape the rat race when you are old. But I understand time is rough. So many people been maybe, dealing with a lot of divorce, single mom, whatever, so many situations that I can't even explain. But saving is a must for every single one who have full-time job. Because many jobs even offer packages, retirement plan, like 401k, 401b, or whatever, Yeah, especially these days. But how do we get here today in America, where so many people have been working 40, 30, plus 50 years, nothing to show for? And you telling me this is the American dream? And you telling me this is what I expect for myself to be? Nah. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment, share. Let's check out these clips.
Nobody talks about getting close to retirement and the fear of not feeling financially secure. And I knew that we were going to have a shortfall, and I needed a way to bridge the gap. So I started looking for what I consider my retirement job. Most people just continue to work into their 70s, and I don't want to do that. My husband and I don't want a lot. We want to be able to live comfortably and not worry about our finances when we retire. And in today's world, that has left so many people continuing to work into their 70s because we're just not financially secure in our retirement. If this sounds like you, drop ready in those comments today and let's talk.
I'm 51 years old and I have no retirement saved. I raised my girls by myself. I worked multiple jobs. I did everything right. I paid the bills. I showed up. I kept the lights on. And every time life happened, a car repair, a medical bill, or a kid who needed something, I pulled from wherever I had set a tiny bit aside because that's what moms do. And then I took a $10,000 pay cut to protect my mental health because I was drowning. And somehow I ended up $10,000 in debt. Tell me how we can work this hard for decades, do everything we were told to do, and still end up near retirement with nothing waiting for us. And for a minute, I was embarrassed. What if people think I failed? What if they think I should have planned better? What if I'm too old to start something new? And then this is what I realized. The system didn't raise my girls. I did. The opinions didn't pay my bills. I did. And nobody's coming to fund my retirement. So if I'm going to build one, it's going to be me. If you're a Gen X mom sitting there thinking that you've worked all these years and feeling like you're very behind, you're not alone and you're not behind.
I'll be 53 years old this year, and full transparency, like no retirement. Like I've done a terrible job with that. A lot of that is, raising kids and all the excuses, but I just haven't really been good with my money. And that's the truth. What little I had, I could have done better with, but now's the time. I've been laying awake at night for the last couple of years. Like, how the hell am I going to retire? I'll just work till I'm 90. And there's a lot to learn as a somebody that's just getting into the stock market and learning new things. I'm blessed to have my youngest son that's kind of really really good at that kind of stuff, so he steered me in the right direction. But is there anybody out there in their 50s that is like, oh shit, retirement's coming up? What am I going to do? And what are you doing? Like, how are you going about it? I don't know. It's just a lot. There's a lot of information out there. I feel like right now is a really good time to start investing, even though things are at all time highs. Maybe not. I really have no idea what I'm doing. Just figuring it out.
I'm going to be 55 this year, and I had to face something really uncomfortable. I've worked since I was 15, and I have nothing saved for retirement. And it's hard to say out loud, but it's true. But instead of letting that truth shape me, I'm letting it wake me up. I don't want to spend the rest of my life just trying to survive. I want to build income in a way that actually gives me freedom and flexibility and just enjoyment in life. So that's what I'm doing now.
I'm Tara Lynn, and I'm 53, going on 54. I'm going to try to make this quick. I woke up the other day, probably a week or two ago, and just realized I have not prepared for retirement. Even though I work full time, I've worked my whole life. I started doing some work when I was 14 and 15 years old. Started cleaning motel rooms for minimum wage back when it was like $3 and something an hour. Ever since I've been old enough to know that I can make money for myself, I've always been motivated in that way. But I didn't really have patience for saving for retirement. I always ignored that, and I just always looked at it like it was a long time away. But now I'm within probably the 10-year span or so, and I have not put anything back. So I just realized, what am I going to do? And I see the way this world is going. It's all going, more techie stuff. And I'm not techie at all. I don't even know what I'm doing on this app. I don't know. I don't know how to do anything. I just listen to people that's in my age range and what they're doing in situations like this. And a lot of it comes down to affiliate marketing, which I've not tried yet, but I'm going to try it in my spare time, evenings and weekends, to try to prepare some for retirement. Totally my fault. I should have already been saving, but I didn't. I didn't want to let go of the money.
Hi, my name is Shara, and the truth is, my husband just recently turned 57. And we came to the realization that we have no plan for him to stop working and retire. Like zero. We have nothing saved. We have nothing invested. We have no plan. We don't even have kids to move in with if things get really bad. So now we have a much shorter time before he physically cannot do his work anymore, like 10 years. And since he's been the sole income of our marriage, most of our marriage, then we really need to figure something out in a much shorter time. He's been self-employed since before we were married, and I'm going to explain later why focusing on retirement really just wasn't a priority throughout our marriage. So I'm hoping that you follow our story, and if you're in the same situation, you're going to learn some things along the way. But even better, if you can learn from our mistakes and you're younger and you can start planning now for retirement, that is a much better choice than the situation that we're in right now. So follow along, and I'm going to share a lot. Get it? My name is Shara. And remember to make choices that the future you will be proud of.
Okay, I need to talk about something that bothers me every single time I think about it. Black women retire the latest of any group in this country. We are the most educated. We work the hardest jobs. We carry our families and our communities and our entire units at work on our backs. And we have less built for ourselves than almost anyone else. Not because we didn't work hard enough, because nobody handed us the financial playbook while we were busy holding everything else together. We don't need more hustle. We already had that. We just need a different direction. Investing, owning property, building income that doesn't stop when we do. That's how the data changes. I'm 29. I'm a Black nurse. Decided that statistic wasn't going to be about me. And that's exactly what I teach other Black women to do. Data can change, but only if we do.
Hey guys, I'm Tara Lynn. I'm 53. I'm the one that come to TikTok and let everybody know that I work full time. I always have. I've worked hard my whole life. I still work full time, but I did not save for retirement.
Work full time like a lot of you guys do. But like I said, did not save for retirement. Big mistake. I know this. But you know, that video just went crazy. I had people, I had some mean people on there. I had somebody, mainly, the reason I'm coming back is just to let you know, I had a lot of people that said, oh my gosh, that's me too. I have worked hard my whole life, but I did not have extra money to be putting it in a savings. I had to have every bit of my money. So that's why I'm coming back, is to let you know that that was me. Okay. So work full time, but guys, I'm going to tell you, in 40s and even in 50s, like I am, you can still get right in there and do something extra and build your retirement up to where it's great before you retire. That's what I'm here to do. So follow me if you want to see how I do it.
45 years old, and I'm supposed to be saving for retirement, but yet I can't afford a trip to the grocery store. I can't fill my freezer. We have to just get the basics for each week because the groceries are through the roof, gas is through the roof, and we haven't gotten any raises to combat that. How the hell are we supposed to retire? How are you Gen X mamas? How is Gen X generation even making it? Are we going to retire?
I am 44 years old and I have basically nothing saved for retirement. I have about $14,000 currently saved up between my 401k, Roth IRA, and my high yield savings account. And I just recently got on board with the FIRE community and the FIRE planning. FIRE stands for Financially Independent Retire Early. So my new financial goal now is to save $40,000 a year for the next 8 years, in which I will be about 52 years old in 8 years. And if I never save another dollar after that and wait all the way until I'm 65 to start pulling on my investments, I will have $1,031,118.61 invested and saved. But if I keep going and I save $40,000 a year every year from the age of 44 to the age of 65, I will have saved and invested $1,853,783.41. So let this be a gentle reminder that if you are younger than 40 watching this video, start saving, start investing. You're never going to feel like you're ready. Just go ahead and get started.
I checked my retirement plan today. I have 3 years before I hit 20 years and I can retire from my current employer, right? But I have 2 more years because in 3 years I'll be almost 60. But then I have 2 more years before I can collect Social Security, and I'll probably end up working those extra 2 years to 62 where I could collect Social Security and my retirement. But I also looked at my ex-husband's Social Security because I can draw off of his Social Security. And he has contributed significantly more than I have because I put my career on hold and I followed him around the world while he was in the military. And so I will probably end up drawing off of his Social Security because it's so much more than what I would get if I only drew off of mine. I will also get alimony and part of his retirement. I'm very lucky that I married a man that could provide for me in my old age. Do not be a stay-at-home wife. Don't do it. It is just too dangerous. I'm having a 30-day challenge for the month of April. It's absolutely free and it helps you manifest your best life. Check it out.
It's unfortunate, but there's a 74-year-old man driving Uber at night right now. Not because he wants to, because he has to. And he's not alone. There's a whole generation unretiring in 2026. The fact that they even had to invent a term for this should push every single one of us that hasn't started yet to immediate action, no matter what their age. So here's the trend that's making headlines. Seniors who had already retired are going back to work, driving rideshare, walking dogs, doing gig work, just to cover the bills. Nearly 1 in 3 gig workers are over the age 55 in this country now. Most of these are people that have already worked their whole lives. And Social Security alone isn't stretching far enough. Here are the numbers behind it, straight from AARP. 1 in 5 Americans over the age of 50 have nothing saved for retirement. Let me repeat that. 1 in 5 Americans over the age 50 has nothing saved for retirement. That's who's back at work when they should be enjoying retirement. And around 1 in 4 say they never expect to fully retire. And it's not because they were lazy or bad with money. For most people, life happened, and nobody showed them the simple path that I try to share with you guys early enough. So here's the part that should matter for you. Time is the one thing that those seniors can't get back. If you're younger, you still have it. A little money invested in your 20s and 30s, left alone for decades, does what no amount of catching up can do at 60. Buy a broad market index fund, contribute automatically every month, and let time do the heavy lifting. That is the entire strategy, and it works. And this isn't about judging anyone going back to work. I have nothing but respect for them. It's about keeping the people watching this from ever having to. And the earlier you start, the less you have to stress. And that door's open to anyone that's willing to walk through it. So send this to someone you know that's young and keeps putting it off. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash that follow button so that we can grow our net worth together.
I think most people in their 20s and 30s don't realize, like, the way the world is now, if you don't have multiple streams of income, if you're not investing your money in the stock market, if you're just relying on your job and the 401k that they have for you, you're going to be working until the day you die.
What do you think about retirement? Is retirement even something that's going to happen for a lot of people? I think a lot of people thought they were going to be able to retire until inflation started going crazy, and it's probably not even done. Inflation is just out of control. I don't even think they show us what real inflation is because the cost of living is just outrageous. Like, I don't even understand how people afford apartments these days. My mortgage is about $640, and then for the year, I pay about 2 grand in taxes. But if my property value gets reassessed, those taxes are probably going to more than double. And my mortgage is really low, but there's people out there that are paying for the house I have, which is 4 bedrooms. I think a house like this would probably go for about $2,500 around my area. I don't understand how people are affording to pay rents like this. Because if I had a family of 5 like I have right now and went to go rent a place, it would cost me so much money. I wouldn't be able to afford it. And we got people out there that are retired and are on fixed incomes, and the prices of things just keep going up. I saw a guy yesterday. This was actually yesterday at Walmart, and I overheard him on the phone. It was an older man. Apparently, he's retired, and he was saying how I can't even afford to get gas to go home. He was at, I think I said McDonald's. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling right now. We were at McDonald's. The guy was sitting there, and he's on the phone and he's saying, "I can't afford to get gas to go home." Like, it's crazy. Like, it's outrageous the cost of things. People are having to come out of retirement. Do you see an end in sight for you? Do you think you're going to get a retirement? I'm just wondering because things are just so out of control. I think a lot of people were planning for a retirement, but is it something that can actually happen? Now, in my case, I could probably retire if I keep this house and eventually pay it off, and then I just have the property taxes. But who knows what's coming? Like, are you going to be able to retire? Let me know. I'm curious about this because I think a lot of people that were planning on retiring probably decided not to now. Let me know your stories. Let me know what you think. Follow for more and check out my bio. I have the same exact digital marketing course in there that I started with, and it'll give you a good start too.
I'm 60 years old, and I can't tell you how many of my friends, my acquaintances, people I grew up with, all of them, including myself, just dream about the day we can finally quit the job for good, leave the corporate world, leave the misery, the gnashing of teeth, the pain, the suffering, the backstabbing, the toxic bosses, all of it. Just leave it behind. We can't take it anymore. And we're questioning what the hell was it for to begin with. But the thing is, leave it for what? Like, what's the next thing? A lot of people talk about, like, I'm going to spend my time on the beach. You can't go to the beach every day. What are you going to do? You're going to go down to Florida. You're going to play shuffleboard. You're going to eat your dinner, your early bird dinner at 3:30, your mashed potatoes and your meatloaf, and then go home and watch Seinfeld reruns, and then fall asleep and do the same thing the next day over and over and over again. What the hell kind of life is that? Like, these now are the best years we have. Every year that passes was the last best year we had. And so who the hell wants to waste it eating meatloaf and watching Seinfeld reruns and going to bed at 7:30 every night? So the question is, what then? What do we do? What is the next step for us? Like, we have purpose, we have meaning, we have desires, we have dreams that are unfulfilled, and now is the time to think about what I'm going to do with those dreams, those desires, that meaning that's in my heart, that divine spark of God that is in me. What am I going to do with that? I'm not going to waste it by eating meatloaf and mashed potatoes every day down in South Carolina or in Florida. I can tell you that. What about you? What are you going to do?
I wanted to follow up with a post that I did recently about leaving my job. And I learned a couple things from that video. And if you haven't seen it, it was before this one. So you can go and check it out. But basically, I left my job at 62. And from all of the comments, and people were so lovely, a lot of people assumed that I retired. And the reality is that I did not retire. I took a new job, and I will probably never be able to retire. I went through a divorce in my later 50s and had to start over. So even though I can't retire, what I can do is I can reinvent. I can reinvent myself as many times as I choose, as I need to, as I want to. And I just want to say that your job is not everything. And I do get that for some people, maybe it has to be at this point in time, as mine was. But there's so many different things that you could do to make your life a little more enjoyable and not be taken down by your job. And that was really what I did. I just took my power back and I found another job. And I just wanted to say that I think that we can all do this at any point in our lives. And I believe it, and that's how I'll live the rest of my life. And I don't even know if I would want to retire if I could. Well, I suppose it would be nice. But for the most part, I just wanted to say that. Thanks for all your great comments. And remember, you can reinvent yourself, and life is meant to be enjoyed. So just wanted to pop on and say that.